This is the second of two lessons of solving quadratic equations, but this time we're going to use a quadratic formula. So let me introduce how we're going to get the values so that we can use this formula and find the solution to a quadratic equation like this. X squared plus 6x plus 8 equals 0 is a quadratic equation. We know that because we have an exponent of 2. So that's the sign that's a quadratic. Now the general form of a quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Very general form, but from that we can see that the coefficient for the x squared in this problem is 1. The coefficient here for the x is 6, and the constant term is 8. That is our a, our b, and our c. So a is 1, b is 6, and c is 8 in this problem. Now, this is a quadratic formula. Seems lengthy, but very doable. Let's talk about it. I would read this as x equals opposite of b. So note, even though it may look like negative b, I'd prefer you say opposite of b, plus or minus the square root, b squared minus 4ac, and all of that has a denominator of 2a. Now, a couple notes to take on this formula. First of all, I mentioned I would prefer the negative b not be read as negative b, but read as opposite of b. The other point I'd like you to notice is this b squared will always be a positive number. So we'll watch for that as we work through some problems. If b is negative 3 in this example, then the opposite of b would be positive 3. And if b would be negative 3 in this example, then b squared is 9. So again, it is always positive. So I just wanted you to take note of that as we work through the next examples. So let's go back to our problem. X squared plus 6x plus 8 equals 0. We've established a is 1, b is 6, and c is 8. We're going to take these numbers, a, b, and c values, and put them into this quadratic formula. So, opposite of b, so we're going to put in, if it's 6, we're going to put a negative 6 into the formula, plus or minus b squared is 36, minus 4 times a of 1 and c of 8, all over 2a. So we were just going to take these three values, substitute them into the formula. Now we're going to simplify that. Keep the negative 6, plus or minus 36, and it'll be minus 32 in this situation because 4 times 1 times 8 is 32, divided by 2. And then one more simplification here. Negative 6 plus or minus 36 minus 32 is 4, divided by 2. This is where we're at with the, finishing out the formula. And we should recognize that the square root of 4 is 2. So now I have negative 6 plus or minus 2 divided by 2. This plus or minus will develop into two equations. One will be negative 6 plus 2 divided by 2, and the other will be negative 6 minus 2 divided by 2. So again, that plus minus will have us solving for two solutions, one with the plus and one with the subtraction. So let's do the one here. Negative 6 plus 2 is negative 4. When you divide by 2, you get negative 2. And for this one, negative 6 minus 2 divided by 2 is negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. So the two answers to this problem are x could be negative 2 and x could be negative 4. So the formula allowed us to find the values of x. Let's look at one more example. This example for the quadratic equation is x squared minus 2x minus 15. I chose this because now we have some subtraction signs. We need to identify a, b, and c. Well, a is 1. It's a coefficient here that we don't see, but we know that a is 1. b will be negative 2 because the 2 takes that sign, the subtraction sign with it, and then c will be negative 15. We're going to take these three values, put them in for the values of a, b, and c in the quadratic formula, and solve. Again, you see the formula. Reminder of what the values are for the problem that we're doing here. So x will equal opposite of b, so it becomes a positive 2, plus or minus. B squared is negative 2 squared, minus 4 times the a times your c, which is negative 15. All of that has a denominator of 2, a being 1. We're going to simplify again. Keep the 2, plus or minus. Let's look at the square root sign. Negative 2 squared is a positive 4, and negative 4 times the 1 times the negative 15 will give us a plus 60. So watch again your signs right in this section of the problem. Down here, we're going to take 4 plus 60 and make it 64. So do the addition underneath the square root sign, and then we will recognize the square root of 64 is 8. Again, this is the part of the problem that divides into two solutions. 2 plus 8 divided by 2, and then the 2 minus 8 divided by 2. Doing these two different calculations, we're going to get an answer of 5 and an answer of negative 3. Although it's a lengthy process, it's true to math. It will always solve a quadratic problem. So important to learn, and just again, just a matter of putting the ABC values and watching your math calculations.